All right, I'm here with Ollie, and he's currently working on the game called Framed. He works for Love Shack. So, how did you come up with this idea?
Well, my associate Josh, who's a programmer on the game, was reading a book called Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud, and we kind of figured that some of those things that are discussed in that book, like the context changing, divided by the gutter in the panels, might make some compelling gameplay mechanics. So, yeah. He suggested the idea to us, and we put together a prototype, and yeah.
That's pretty cool. It works really well. I mean, how difficult was it to figure out each individual puzzle? Or, I mean, I guess you probably drew it out in the way it would be completed and then shuffle them all.
It's exactly what we did, yeah. So every puzzle we design on paper first.
Okay.
Hundreds of little bits of paper. We reiterate. Generally, one of us, because we're all collaborating on the design, so generally one of us will come up with an idea for a level, and put the basis of that level together, and then we'll play test it together and try and beat it into shape.
It's pretty cool. It's funny that you do it on paper. You never hear that anymore.
We don't actually have any computers.
Oh, other than the programming.
Yeah. No, all the paper.
I can see you guys sitting there sketching and. One lamp above you. So I guess when are you guys planning on releasing it?
So we're full steam ahead at the moment. We're trying to get the iOS version out by the end of this year.
Okay.
And if not, early next year. And then the PC and Mac versions will follow shortly after that. And Android and who knows what other platforms. Hopefully some other platforms.
Yeah, I mean, I guess how difficult was it to secure funding to put this whole thing together?
Well, we've been really lucky because in Australia there's a couple of federal and state funding bodies that that can help you if you apply. There's one called Screen Australia and one called Film Victoria.
Oh, okay.
Both of which helped us out, which was really great.
Sweet.
So yeah, that's basically been it. But that doesn't mean it's been easy.
Living off a little bit of top ramen.
Yeah, a bit of that.
Yeah. I don't know. Brain fart. Why did I do this? I'll B-roll this whole thing out. Are you going to be trying to bring it to, well, you said Android. Is that the last thing you're going to bring it to? Because that's going to devastate me.
Well, the thing about it is that we're just trying to get to as many platforms in the time frame that we can. And iOS has always been our development platform, followed closely by Mac and PC. So it's those environments that we're most used to, so they're the ones we'll ship first. But absolutely the plan's always been to get it to Android.
Yeah, I'm an Android guy, and everything always gets brought last to the Android, and I always feel bad because
it is an issue.
What engine are you guys using to build it?
It's a proprietary engine that our coder Josh put together. Yeah.
Sweet. I assume you might be using Unity because it might be easy to publish, but a lot of people are doing their own these days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for us it just works because it's mostly a 2D thing, So it's not, we don't require a 3D solution, even though Unity's 2D now. But
yeah, it's pretty awesome. I don't know. I really like this type of gameplay mechanic because it's kind of soothing. It's not that frantic oh my god, I'm gonna die every second, and I really like that.
Yeah.
I mean, is that what you were kind of going for? Something a little bit more?
I think definitely there was something a little bit cerebral and a little bit like one of the most fascinating things about showing at something like PAX is that people really tend to like playing through it together.
Yeah.
And that's something we didn't think about at the beginning, but now thinking back, that's the kind of game we wanted to make. Like something that wasn't too twitchy and it's a bit more, a bit of an adventure that you could kind of, take
enjoy
in
together.
Yeah,
and I think that's exactly it. Like these two here, they did the same thing. They're both watching over their shoulder, and now they're both helping each other solve the puzzles. Yeah. I really like that kind of stuff. There's not very many games that do that anymore. It's always online, And that's just kind of lame. But so, what are you guys' price point?
Sorry,
what's the price point you guys are shooting for?
Well, we're gonna have to work that out closer to release.
Depending on how in debt you are at that time?
Yeah, something like that.
So, I don't know what else to say. You got anything else to say?
Well, thank you for taking the time to ask some questions and, check out Framed, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
You too.
You have a good one.